everyone, and welcome back to Marlonistas. My name is Maria Prego.
And I'm Martinez. Today we have some interesting news, so stay with us because we're going to talk about the relationship between European Union.
As I mentioned before, today we have a very interesting and relevant topic regarding Mexico and the European Union. Today, they have officially started their negotiation for the free trade agreement that was signed in the 2000s.
And that's very important because Mexico and the European Union have had a very long-term relationship. In 1975, they signed their first commercial agreement, which contributed to the construction of the actual strong relationship they have. This helped both countries to increase their trust, and in 1997, the two parties signed the European-Mexico Economic Partnership, Political Coordination and Cooperation Agreement, which entered in force in 2000.
Right. It is important to have in mind that the efficiency of this bond between the European Union and Mexico is because they have been applying the three pillars of this agreement, which is inclusive dialogue, trade, and cooperation. This agreement is based in a specific objectives for Mexico. It represents economic diversification, and for Europe, it's an entrance in Latin America.
Finally, we can say that thanks to the integration of Mexican and European markets, their bilateral relationship strengthened considerably, not just in the economic aspects, but also with a high political dialogue. It is based on shared values such as democracy and human rights, and reflects Mexico's relevance on the international scenario.
Now we will go and talk about the two experts on the topic. First, the new ambassador of the European Union in Mexico, Mr. Klaus Rudeshauer, and Mexico's Secretary of Economy, Mr. Ildefonso Bojaro.
Let's connect to Forum 3, where Karina Montes is with our two guests.
Hello, so in the representation of the news, the Marlon News, we are here in this table of dialogue. We have the ambassador of European Union in Mexico, and we have the Secretary of Economics of Mexico. And my name is Karina, and I will moderate the dialogue between these experts. And as my partner says in the news, there is no question that the economic relationship between Mexico and the European Union is extremely important in today's context. So now we will start talking about the topic, and the dynamic that I will follow is asking questions about specific areas in this treaty. So let's start. The first thing that I want to discuss is how this treaty is legally supported. So please, Ildefonso, tell me about the legal framework of this treaty.
Yes, Karina, thank you. And as you mentioned before, it is important to have in mind the fact that there is a very strong legal framework in which this agreement is based. This framework basically consists in how the agreement have like Vienna Convention as its principal base, in which it establishes the mechanism for creating a treaty. Also, we have the Mexican Constitution to give legal validation to the agreement, and also we are very concerned for how the world is affected by commerce and everything regarding trading, and that's why we also added the Paris Agreement to respect the planet. Also, in internal framework, we have a joint council for supervising the treaty and also the joint committee for the same purpose.
Perfect. So we can see that this legal framework really works. The institution gives trust to Mexico and the European Union because, as we can see in the numbers of commerce, the numbers are really positive and very high. So, Ambassador, please, can you tell us about the numbers in imports and exports between both parties?
Yes, of course. Well, there is no denial that this trade agreement has been very beneficial for both Mexico and the European Union. For instance, when we talk about exports and imports, in the case of importations, Mexico imports from the European Union mostly vehicles, pharmaceutical products, and auto parts, most of the time, mostly to the US. And this has created many opportunities and industries like the automotive sector and cluster, which has definitely helped the economy of Mexico. Now, if we want to talk about exportations, Mexico exports to the European Union mostly as well vehicles, auto parts, and then we export as well some quantities of petroleum oil and other products coming from this element. So there is proof that this trade agreement has been extremely beneficial. There are areas of opportunity, but they can be improved.
Okay, thank you. So we can see it's very positive and the relationship between both parties are increasing, not just in the economic sector. They are increasing their dialogue and increasing their bilateral relationship. So this treaty sounds really good for both parties, but can you tell us, please, Secretary, what we are not seeing about this treaty? There is a negative aspect behind this treaty, or what can you tell us?
Well, I agree with the ambassador with all the benefits that we all got with this agreement, but three that we're not seeing. Of course, everything can be improved. Some of these disadvantages or challenges that we still have to improve in this agreement is the fact that we are in a circumstance in which Mexico and the European Union are very far away from each other, and we are still close to the United States. This is correlated with the fact that we are still working on the interest of the United States, and their influence here is still bigger than the one we are getting from the European Union. Also, another important disadvantage is the fact that the small and medium-sized enterprises, either for lack of vision or for best practices or national support, they are getting economically displaced to a second level, in which the producers and the workers of the displaced activities will learn or will not even get jobs, or a very few of them.
So finally, we can tell that this treaty gives a lot of area of opportunity for both parties, but there are so challenges that there are being give a lot of area of opportunity for both parties, but there are so challenges that there are being left behind. So now we will talk with Claudia Ruiz-Museum, which is in charge of the renegotiation of this treaty, and we will see if she is considering these challenges that you told us and how she will minimize the challenges of these problems in this treaty. So thank you, and let's go back to Marlon's news.
Hello, my name is Claudia Ruiz-Massieu, and I'm glad to be with you here in the Marlon News. First, I want to talk about how we're going to minimize the problems that you mentioned before. And first, we have to know that the EU is the second most important investor in Mexico. The European enterprises, they are looking forward to place their businesses in Mexico, since it has a good development perspective, and also European countries see Mexico like a refuge for investment. This is automotive, energy, infrastructure, the most important telecommunication, consumer sectors, and other sectors that we have. Also, I think that this will help us to innovate in different sectors, because we can learn and see the EU as a model to improve our political point of view. And regarding the renegotiation, I met my colleague Cecilia Malmström from the EU, and This has been a challenge for both parties because we are working hard to modernize and renegotiate this agreement and treaty. And the main purpose of adapting to the actual dynamics in this international scenario is the trade and cooperation processes that we are working right now. First, we met in June 2016, and we are starting meetings with the EU called Round of Negotiations to Modernize the Agreement on Economic Association, Political Concertion and Cooperation, better known as Global Agreement. Also, speaking about the first round of negotiation, this was about determining the methodological aspects and procedure of the next rounds, and we are looking forward to end the process as fast as it is possible. This is something that I can talk about right now, the renegotiation, and if you have any questions and anything that I can help you, I'm glad to hear them, and this is all for now.
That will be all. Thank you for choosing Los Marlonistas to inform you on your daily basis. I'm Maria Prego.
And I'm Martinez. We will see you next partial.